I found that all those I interviewed in the Americas wing of the Museum of Fine Arts had a substantial amount of knowledge or experiences with the native cultures. None believed in the noble savage, and none followed the assumption of Holmberg's mistake. However, if an uneducated person were to view these artifacts, I don't think they would come to the conclusion that these civilizations were advanced or sophisticated. In the modern world, growth in civilization is seen as technology, and those that act similar to how we are today. These artifacts don't demonstrate technological advancement that society initially thinks of today. To truly grasp what these ancient societies accomplished, one must visit the monuments or, through research, immerse him or herself in what is left of the culture.
I'll try to carry on.
I think we're kind of older, like taking American history a bunch of times and stuff.
No, they're pretty advanced as far as ancient civilizations goes.
Well, where I come from, I'm from Canada, and we're in the Plains area, and so there's a lot of Native Americans there. They live in the areas where they're designed for them. They have a lot of museums and things around in the area, so we do learn a little bit. And what's nice is they actually bring some of their culture into the different events that go on in the city and in the surrounding areas. So we get to see a lot of the dances and things that they do.
My perception was that they are all different civilizations, so they have a lot of cultural elements and a lot of knowledge, but it's completely different from the European point of view. So there was a great impact when the Spanish came to Mexico, and they saw that it was a great civilization, a great empire, but based in completely different principles and values.
Something I found riveting is the last room where ancient artifacts are intermingled with modern Native American art. Personally, I didn't care for this intermingling because I think current society differs greatly from these ancient civilizations. Because of globalization and development in society, I don't believe the current generation can identify with these ancient people. They may practice some of the rituals of their ancestors, but many of the sacrificial rituals and customary ceremonies are no longer appropriate or followed. For example, I'm from Florida, and I know many Seminoles who have a drop of Native American blood, so they are entitled to the Seminole tribe's casino money, as well as putting it on their college applications. Then there are the Apache tribes in Arizona, where on the reservations there's a lot of crime and poverty. Still, to this day, Native Americans don't receive the respect they deserve. Hopefully over time and through education will the world completely dismantle Holmberg's mistake and know the truth about the American natives. Here's a video to give an alternative perspective on differences of societies in the world today and what they may look like in the future. The fact that the detail and exact cut of these artifacts have survived hundreds of years is simply remarkable. Something that caught my eye was how similar the incense burners were to the tombstones. It's intriguing how they associate incense burners with the dead and how they identify them as mirrors for divination, or doorways to the supernatural realm. There was also a captivating figurine of a man screaming with raised arms, clenched hands, and bare teeth to convey his pain. This statue was used for sacrificial war rituals to convey a complex set of beliefs about the importance of sacrifice in both earthly and cosmic matters. It was also a whistle, where the blowhole was out of the figurine man's anus. Clearly the people of northern Penton had a sense of humor.
Point of view or the conception you meant. At least when I studied, mostly all the art of the Native Americans, we saw it as with a religious purpose, like worshiping their gods, rather than like expressing their everyday life. I don't know.
I was taught about his discovery of the West Indies, not of America.
I know that there were a lot of death and a lot of like pain for the Native Americans that were here, and then when Columbus and all the Spaniards and all the colonization started, and that it was sort of like people thought it was like a great idea to come, but it actually like really hurt them.
I know that the Native Americans were here long before the Spaniards, that they had their own civilizations and their own way of life and culture, and that the Spanish came along, did conquer these Native American people unfairly, gave them diseases, and tried to change their way of life, calling them uncivilized, whereas they were civilized, they were just different.
Yeah, I don't think they're savages. They're noble, yeah. But
Yes, I do. That's the savage that like shouldn't be civilized, right? Like the one that we need to look to because their way of life is just a different way of life, and it should remind us that we are civilized and we have a good way of life, right? Yeah. So yeah, I definitely believe there is a noble savage.
I think that Christopher Columbus, though he is a famous explorer, we should also look into the fact that he did bring disease and corruption to the Native American people.
I mean, I like Columbus Day, but I don't really think that he was like the first person to come over. There was like somebody else that came over. I don't know. There's a lot of people at that time. I don't know why he's always like so important.